So in slide 10, you can see what the best products that our brand was able to release throughout the last 8 quarters are. We started in our early quarters by releasing the standard and the professional units. And although this was a good starting point for us, we realized pretty quickly that our target segments were not interested in laptops, they were interested in desktops. And so we contribute going with a laptop largely in part to why we were so unsuccessful. In addition to poor advertising, we weren't really reaching our target segments in the way that we probably could. In quarter 6, our company really started to take off, and this was coincidentally with the launch of the McBlast, and I don't believe that's a coincidence. We switched from the laptop to a desktop and really narrowed in on, through all of our market research, exactly what our target segments wanted of the cost cutter and the workhorse. We had a profit of over $1,000 per unit, which means that we were able to keep our cost of goods sold relatively small in relation to what we were selling these units for, and as a result, we experienced net sales of over $9.5 million. In quarter 7, we took all of that information that we had just received from the McBlast and wanted to better our product even more, really narrowing in on the fine details, and experienced net sales of over $14.1 million. So gradually growing. It's about $5 million more than we had made in the previous quarter, and we wanted to continue that growth. So with the quarter 8, we released McBlaster, and again, taking all that research that we just got from quarter 7, we wanted to improve, and we experienced net sales of over $12.4 million. Although this number is smaller than the McBlast 2, we do believe that this is our most successful product to date, largely in part to we had lost over 2,000 sales just from stockouts with this product. So when you think about all the money that was lost from stockouts, if we had improved our fixed capacity, we would have been able to lower that number and experience a substantial amount of revenue growth. We try to continuously release a new product every quarter to keep everything fresh with our consumers so that they wanted to purchase our products. In slide 11, you can see the best ads that we released. A1 and MCB2 are our most popular ads throughout the last 8 quarters. We released each of these in the regions that we were selling, so NORM, Europe, MEA, ATA, and APAC. They were very well received in our cost cutter and workhorse segments, which we were pleased with because that was most important for us if we wanted to take over a large market share of that. But they were also very well received in the traveler segment. So in addition to targeting the areas that we wanted to really well, we were also able to start breaking into this new target market that we hadn't even initially intended on. In slide 12, you can kind of see the lessons that we learned. Early on with this company, we tried to plan several quarters out. So in quarter 2, we were thinking about quarter 6. We learned fast that this was not the way that we needed to approach our company. Instead, we wanted to take it quarter by quarter and watch what our competitors were doing and really narrow in on what was successful the previous quarter. When we started changing to that mindset, we became much more successful as a company. Market research is so critical. You need to spend as much as you can. That way you're developing advertisements and products that match and align with the goals of your target segments. In quarters 5 and 6, we put a lot of spending into advertising, and this paid off in dividends. We saw our sales substantially grow. In quarters 7 and 8, we decided that we were going to cut back on that expense. And as a result, our sales did grow a little bit, but it was more of a plateau than what we had seen in quarters 5 and 6. And we attribute that largely to our cuttings in advertising expenses. We also need to reduce our lost sales from stockouts. So we need to raise our fixed capacity going forward in order to not lose any potential sales. Thank you.